Mhm. Good evening, one and all. Today I am going to throw light on the place of supply of goods. The place of supply of goods. So, for determining the place of supply of goods, the following particular diagram is very useful. And before I go into the analysis and understanding about place of supply of goods, let's understand what do you mean by place of supply of goods. What do you understand by place of supply of goods, and what is the importance of place of supply of goods? What is the importance? So let's talk about the importance and the meaning of place of supply of goods. Okay, I will give one example, one or two examples, and from that we will infer the importance of place of supply of goods in determining whether it is a interstate sale of goods or services or intrastate sale of goods or services. So, for example, Mr. X is there. X is there in Tamil Nadu, and he comes all the way to Maharashtra, uh, in Bombay, and he purchases a laptop. He purchases a laptop in a showroom of Reliance Retail. In a showroom of Reliance Retail. Now we have to determine whether it is a interstate sale of goods or intrastate sale of goods. We have to determine whether it is a interstate sale of state sale of goods or intrastate sale of goods, because based upon this we are going to levy the said GST. For example, in case of interstate we are going to levy IGST, whereas in case of intrastate we are going to levy 50% towards CGST and 50% towards SGST. Okay, so in this way, the place of supply becomes important to determine whether the transaction is a intersale supply of goods or intrastate supply of goods. Now, let me find out the answer to the example which I have given. So, Mr. X has come all the way from Tamil Nadu to Bombay, and from Bombay, at Reliance Retail, he purchases a laptop. Now, this person who is a Reliance Retail, the owner or the manager, will issue invoice. During this issue of invoice to Mr. X, now he will charge GST. Now, which GST is going to charge? Whether it is intrastate transaction and he will levy IGST, or intrastate sale of goods or service and then he will charge CGST or SGST. So there is a element of doubt in this particular transaction, and that's the reason why the place of supply is of immense importance in determining the transaction and the subsequent levy of the requisite GST. So that's the reason this topic is very important. Another example I will give you. Another example I will give you, and from that we will understand the importance of this topic called as place of supply of goods as well as services. For example, Mr. X is there. Mr. X is there, and he is there in Bihar. He is there in Bihar, and he gives an order to Mr. Y, who is in, for example, Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, so this Bihar person who is the buyer, gives an order to Mr. Y of Hyderabad, who is a manufacturer of toys, and he gives an order to transport or sell goods to Mr. Z of Patna. So it is in on the uh, direction of the third person. That is, X is the third person. This guy is giving order to Mr. Y of Hyderabad, who is the manufacturer of toys, to supply goods to Mr. Z of Patna. Now it is a confusing state. Like for example, Bihar has come into picture, Hyderabad has come into picture, Patna has come into picture. Bihar, sorry, I will take this one. Not Bihar. This is, for example, Pune. So Mr. X of Pune who is buying the goods, is giving an order to Mr. Y of Hyderabad to manufacture certain toys and sell it to Mr. Z of Patna. So three different states are there in the picture. Now the guy who is selling is confused. This who is Mr. White, whether this is an intrastate transaction or interstate transaction of goods, because if he is under the assumption that this is a interstate, he is likely to levy IGST, and if he's under the assumption that it is a intrastate, then 50% he will levy for towards CGST, and 50% of the GST will be levied on as SGST. But he's not clear whether it is a intrastate sale or a interstate sale. So this is the confusing stage. Now another example I will give you. Another example I will give you. Now Mr. X is there. He uh, goes to Bangalore via train from Bombay, from Mumbai. So Mr. X boards a train at Bombay and goes to Bangalore and reaches the destination. But in between Bombay and Bangalore, somewhere in, for example, a place in Andhra Pradesh, in the during the travel in the train, he purchases some water and food material, and the person who is selling these goods is going to levy GST. Now the person who is going to sell these goods to this person, Mr. X, whether he will charge GST, which GST, whether it is IGST or CGST or SGST. So to eliminate this kind of confusion, we should have a thorough understanding and knowledge about Section 10 of GST Act. I think it will be coming under IGST or CGST Act. We are not sure about it, but Section 10 is the reference point. So we have to understand the meaning and the in-depth understanding about the place of supply of goods. So to understand the place of supply of goods, we should have a thorough understanding about these five elements. I will skip this one, imports and exports, but I will concentrate on this one. So to understand the place of supply of goods only. Services we will be talking subsequently, but today first part we are going to concentrate on place of supply of goods. So for the determining the place of supply of goods, we have five different situations: one, two, three, four, and five. One is movement of goods, one is no movement of goods, one is goods are assembled and on the direction of the third person, and subsequently it is the last one is supply on board. So for the purpose of place of supply of goods, there are five cases: case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, and case 5. So these cases are there: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So our discussion to determine the place of goods, the place of supply of goods, are divided into five parts. So the answer to these five situations are given as follows. This is the answer. Now how the answer has come? So when it is supply involves movement of goods, then this is the answer. When the supply goods are supplied on the direction of the third person, then this is the answer. The answer says that the principal place of the business of the third person is the place of supply. Supply doesn't involve movement of goods. This is the third case. Then location at location of the goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. This is the answer. So there are answers given to the different situations. So to remember them, let's take a small example in all the five different situations and understand place of supply of goods under these five different cases and situations. So again, I have represented in a different diagram. So the same diagram is represented once again. This is the answer. But let's take the examples and discussion for case to case with certain examples. So the first situation is where the supply involves movement of goods. The situation is where the supply involves movement of goods. For example, Mr. X is there. He is in Hyderabad, and Mr. Y is there. Mr. Y is in Bangalore. So Mr. X makes a call to this guy, and who is a manufacturer of, for example, laptops. laptops. It tells this Hyderabad guy is communicating to Mr. Y, who is the manufacturer of laptops at Bangalore, to transport goods of laptops of 100 pieces. So 100 pieces of laptops are ordered, and each at 50,000 rupees. Each at 50,000 rupees. Now, what is happening? The movement of goods start from Bangalore, and it is traveling here from Bangalore and reaches the final destination, which is Hyderabad. So that is the situation we are talking about. The situation is where the supply involves movement of goods. Where the supply involve movement of goods. Movement of goods started here, and is terminating in Hyderabad. Now, number one example, number one situation. Now Bangalore is in Karnataka and Hyderabad is in Telangana, and these are two different states. These are two different states, and hence, because of this situation where the goods are sold and procured by two different people who are in two different states of India, we determine that this particular transaction is a interstate supply of goods. Interstate supply of goods. So because of this is the value of the goods which are sold, that is 50 lakh rupees. 50 lakh rupees is the value of the goods. So on this 50 lakh rupees, we are going to levy, because of interstate sale of goods, we are going to levy, for example, 28%. If is the rate of GST, I am going to levy on this transactional value 28% GST, which is 14 lakh rupees. So 64 lakh rupees. So what type of GST we are going to levy? I am going to levy IGST. IGST, integrated goods and services tax. So now let's get the answer to this situation where the supply of goods involves movement of goods. Supply involves movement of goods. So as already spoken and discussed at length in the previous classes, that whenever the goods are supplied or services are supplied, then at that point GST is determined. That is called as a taxable event. That is called as a taxable event. Taxable event is nothing but supply of goods or supply of goods or services. So when there is a movement, supply involves movement of goods. When supply involves movement of goods, then what is the place of supply? Then in such a case, place of supply is the place where delivery terminates, and that is where the ownership is passed on shall be critical to determine the place of value. But this point is very important. The place where the delivery terminates. So it started it from Bangalore and ended at Hyderabad. So the place of supply is the place where the delivery terminates. The place where the delivery terminates is Hyderabad. So Hyderabad is place of supply. Hyderabad is place of supply. Who is supplying? A person from Bangalore is supplying. To whom it is been supplied? To a place of supply called as Hyderabad. So place of supply we have determined as Hyderabad. The person who is selling is of Bangalore. He is selling it from Bangalore. So two different states. So it is a case of interstate sale of, or sorry, supply of goods. So supply involves movement of goods, whether by the supplier or the recipient himself. So he can, this guy also can go to Bangalore and place an order from this guy, and he can transport these goods to Hyderabad. So it doesn't make any difference whether this guy is taking care of the transportation or this guy is taking the transportation, but the goods are being transported, and the supply involves movement of goods. So whether the buyer is taking care of the transportation part, or the supplier is taking care of the supply transportation part, that doesn't make any difference. But if the movement of goods involves supply of goods involves movement of goods, supply involves movement of goods, then the place of supply, the answer is, I have shown in red mark, the movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. Then in that case, the place where the delivery terminates is the place of supply. The place of supply. This implies that place of supplier or receiver is of no consequence. So wherever is the supplier, wherever is the receiver, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, but the place where the goods are transported, that is very important. So let's take a small example of the first situation, because you can be asked in your examination some numerical or examples or MCQ examples like this. So A Limited of West Bengal, A Limited of West Bengal is there. Now he's selling goods from 300 units of computers to Info Traders of Bihar. So Info Traders of Bihar. So to be delivered at office at Jharkhand. So where it is going to be delivered at Jharkhand. So I told you it doesn't make any difference where the seller is or the buyer is, but where the goods have started and where the goods have terminated is very important. In this case, the transportation of goods have terminated at the Jharkhand, number one. From where it has started, though, this is Jharkhand is called as the place of supply, place of supply of goods. And where it started in a place at Bihar. So Bihar is a different state and Jharkhand is a different state. So two different states, one are in picture. So when there is a interstate supply of goods or services, in particular in our example, it is interstate supply of goods. This is an interstate supply of goods, and we will levy IGST. That's the reason determining the place of supply is very, very important to know whether it is a interstate supply or intrastate supply, sorry. And subsequently, because of the situation, we are going to levy a suitable GST. In case of intrastate, we are going to levy 50% towards CGST and 50% towards SGST. And in case of interstate, we are going to levy the whole amount of IGST on the valuation of the goods. Now, another example we will take. Another example is what shall be the place of supply and kind of GST we are going to charge if R of Delhi. Now, R of Delhi is there, makes a supply to G of Gujarat. G of Gujarat. So this guy is supplying goods to Gujarat. So this is the place where the supply of goods, the movement of goods have terminated. This is the place at which the goods have terminated as far as movement of goods is concerned. So this is place of supply. Where from where it has started? It has started from Delhi. So Delhi is a union territory, and this is a state, and one union territory and one state are coming into picture. So it is a case of interstate, inter-union territory and state. So in this case also we are going to charge IGST. In this case also we are going to charge IGST. So hope this is also clear. Second example. Third example. Now the same example we will continue. What should be your answer if G is located in Delhi? Now the guy who is in Gujarat is located in Delhi. So R is in Delhi and he is supplying. So G is also located in Delhi. G also is located in Delhi. Now look at the answer. On the other hand, G is also located in Delhi. The place of supply shall be Delhi, and hence it will be a interstate supply of goods and services. So we are going to charge CGST only. Now, why CGST? Because both the buyer and the seller are in the same state, and the goods, the movement of goods are ending in the same place, same union territory. It has started at Delhi and ended at Delhi. That is, the goods are the supply of goods, which involves movement of goods, has terminated at Delhi itself. So within the union territory, there is a sale of goods. So it is intra-union territory. So this is also we are going to levy CGST central and UGST. 50% will be towards central GST and 50% towards. This is not a state. Delhi is not a state. So we are going to levy UGST, Union Territory Goods and Services Tax. 50% towards CGST and 50% towards UGST. Hope you have understood this point. Next one. Let's take one more example. Now, where another example I am taking, very important, this kind of questions are likely to be asked in your examination. So R of Ghaziabad comes to Delhi. So R of Ghaziabad. Ghaziabad is in UP. He comes to Delhi and wish to buy a washing machine. Delhi में washing machine उसको खरीदना है. For his and this washing machine is going to be used for his residential purpose at Ghaziabad. He visited a showroom of a washing machine in Delhi. He has visited a showroom in Ghaziabad, in Delhi, sorry, and is purchasing a washing machine in Delhi. G agreed. Who is G? The person who is selling the washing machine. Washing machine uh, has agreed to transport the machine to R at his residence in Ghaziabad for 20,000 rupees, including transportation charges. So let's give me the answer. So R is in Ghaziabad and G is in Delhi. So Delhi wala is the showroom owner. So this guy comes to Delhi and purchases a washing machine. Now, washing machine is a small, not a small item that you can keep it in your pocket and then you can go to your to your native place. It's not possible. So this guy has to undertake to transport, or this guy has to undertake the transportation of goods from Delhi to Ghaziabad. So what is happening because of this? There is a movement of goods which is starting from Delhi and ending at Ghaziabad. So Delhi is a union territory and Ghaziabad is in UP, which is a state. So there is a place of goods. In this case, is the place where the movement of goods terminates. So the movement of goods is terminating at Ghaziabad. So place of supply is Ghaziabad. Number two. So in this case, we are going to levy. It is a first and foremost interstate supply of goods. Interstate supply of goods. So it is a case of IGST going to be levied on this 20,000 rupees. So the first part of our question is been answered. So second part of the question. Now let's look at the second part of the question. Will the situation be different if R agrees to take the washing machine himself? Now he's telling that this guy who is R, he's telling to Mr. G of Delhi that I will take care of the transportation. But please remember the transportation is starting from Delhi and it is terminating at Ghaziabad. So this comes under the purview of the first case, which is the supply involves movement of goods. So it doesn't make any difference because there is a movement of goods. Supply involves movement of goods and it is starting from Delhi and ending at Ghaziabad. So Ghaziabad is the place of supply and it is started here in. So this is a case of interstate sale of interstate supply of goods. So these are some of the examples which I wanted to tell. So hope you have understood. Now the second situation. So we have looked at the first situation. Now this is the second situation. What is second situation? So first situation is over. Now let's look at the second situation. On the direction of the third person, the manufacturer is supplying goods to the other person, and in such a case the answer as far as place of supply is place of the third person. Now let's look at this situation also and we will address the answer, find out the answer. So this is very important and I will give a small example. With this you can understand it. So this is the example. The example is in front of you. So here there are three people in this particular situation, where one is the supplier and his location. The second one is the location of the buyer, who is called as the third person. And the third, this is first, this is second, and the third one is the recipient of the goods. This is the recipient of the goods. So, and the fourth one is the place of delivery of goods. So one is the person who is supplying the goods. We can call it him also has also call him as a person who is selling the goods or sales. Next one is the buyer who is buying the goods, and third one is the recipient who is receiving the goods. So buyer is not receiving the goods, somebody else is receiving the goods, who is the recipient we call it, and place of delivery where the goods are being delivered. So this is a peculiar situation, and this situation comes and falls under the second category, which is called as the goods are delivered, where the goods are delivered on the direction of the third person. Very important. You can be expected some questions on this particular situation. So let's look at this situation. So first situation. So 1, 2, 3, 4 examples are there, and we'll solve the examples. So A Limited in Jaipur is there, who is supplying, and who is recipient. This guy is a recipient of the goods. A Limited of Jaipur is supplying goods to M Limited of Bombay, and on whose instructions is supplying? On the instructions of A Limited of Jaipur. A Limited of Jaipur. So A Limited, okay, I will slight change is there. Okay, you will consider this as B Limited, because though, so A Limited of Jaipur is giving instructions to B Limited of Jaipur to supply goods to M Limited of Bombay. So this is a case which falls under the second category. Goods are supplied or delivered on the direction of the third person. So this is the third person who is asking this guy to supply goods to this guy. Okay, this is number one example. Number two example. So in this case, we have got 4 examples, and I will give you the answers. Don't worry about that. And in the first case, the goods are supplied to whom? The goods are received by this guy at Bombay. So place of delivery of goods is Bombay. Number 1 is over. Number 2, A Limited on the instructions of M Limited of Bombay is supplying to B Limited of Jaipur at Jaipur. So this is the second situation. Third situation, A Limited of Jaipur on the instructions of S Limited of Surat is supplying these goods to M Limited of Bombay at Bombay. So this is the third example. Now fourth example, A Limited of Jaipur on the instructions of M Limited of Bombay is supplying goods to P Limited of Bombay at Bombay. So this can be situations like this in the examination or in your practical job. At the time when you're doing job, this can be situations. Now you have to crack, you have to answer, you have to find out the solution. Like what is the kind of GST, whether it is a case of interstate or interstate or intrastate, or IGST is to be levied, or CGST and SGST is to be levied. So you can do it only once you are clear with the basic concepts. So the answer is in front of you. Let's look at the answer for 4 different situations. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer goes like this. A Limited of Jaipur is supplying it to M Limited of Bombay. So this is the this part is the question part, and this is the answer part. Okay, this is the answer part. So this is the question part, and this is the answer part. Okay, now let's solve the answers. So A Limited of Jaipur is supplying it to M Limited of Bombay on the instructions of B Limited Jaipur. B Limited Jaipur. Now where it is supplied? It is supplied at Bombay. Now we have to find out the place of supply. First and foremost, we have to find out the place of supply. Whenever the third person is giving instructions to the supplier blindly, the answer is the third person, where the location of the third person is the answer of place of supply. Again, I'm telling you, in this kind of situation where the third person is giving instructions to the supplier to supply to a different person, then the answer as far as place of supply is concerned is the location of the third person. Location of the third person. Location of the third person. Where is the location of the third person? The third person is B Limited Jaipur at Jaipur. So the location is the place of supply of the place of supply is Jaipur. Hope you have understood it. Number 1. So this question is answered. Place of supply is found out. Now where it is supplied? It is supplied at Bombay, because he is supplying it to Bombay. So the recipient location is at Bombay. So Jaipur is in Rajasthan and Bombay is in Maharashtra. So 2 different states, and this is there is a wrong this is a wrong answer. Okay, you can change it to, it is a case of interstate supply of goods, and this is the one which attracts IGST, because I told you in case of interstate supply of goods we are going to charge IGST. Hope you have understood this particular example. If you have not understood, We will have three more examples, and that will make your life happy. Don't worry. Second situation. This is the second situation. A Limited of Jaipur is supplying it to B Limited of Jaipur. On whose instructions? On the instructions of the third person, who is the real buyer, who is M Limited. So this is the, and where it is been supplied? It is supplied to Jaipur. So Jaipur is the place where the goods are supplied. So this is the question. Now, first and foremost, you have to find out the place of supply. I told you the simple answer to the place of supply is, where is the buyer, third person. The third person is in Bombay. The location of the buyer. The location of the buyer, who is the third person, that is the place of supply. If you look here, so place of supply is Bombay. Okay, place of supply is Bombay, where the third person or the location of the buyer is. That is the place of supply. Now, where is the goods supplied? The goods are supplied by A Limited to B Limited of Jaipur. So Bombay is the place where it is delivered. It has assumed, and it has supplied by Jaipur, from Jaipur. So Jaipur is the starting point and Bombay is the ending point. So place of supply, as already found out, it is Bombay. And this is a case of two different states coming into picture. One is at Jaipur, one is at Bombay, one is in Rajasthan, one is in Bombay, Maharashtra. So it is a case of interstate supply of goods, and on interstate supply of goods we levy IGST as already determined. Number two also over. Number three situation. Okay, we will take some examples which make your life happy. A Limited of Jaipur, who is the supplier, who is supplying it to whom? M Limited of Bombay. Where it is supplied? In Bombay. Who is giving instructions? The instructions are given by the third person, who is the buyer, who is none other than S Limited. So already told, in such a case, the third person, who is the buyer, who is giving the instructions to supply to this person, then the place of supply is S Limited of Surat. That is Surat. Place of supply is Surat. Now where it is from? So place of supply is Surat, and who is supplying it to? And the place of delivery of goods is Bombay. So Bombay is in Maharashtra, Surat is in Gujarat. So this is a case of interstate supply of goods and services. Last example, A Limited of Jaipur, who is the supplier, supplying it to B Limited, P Limited of Bombay at Bombay, and who is giving the instructions? M Limited of Bombay. M Limited of Bombay to supply it to P Limited of Bombay. So the place of supply is Bombay. So this answer is also clear. So this is Bombay. From where it is supplied? It is supplied from Jaipur. So Jaipur se Bombay ja raha hai. So it is a case of two different states in picture. So it is a case of interstate sale of goods and services. So we will levy IGST. Hope this is also clear. So now let's come back to our examples. So let's take some more examples. So before we go into the examples, let's give the answer to the place of supply in case of goods are delivered on the direction of the third person. So where the goods are delivered by the supplier to the recipient on the direction of the third person. So we had on that case, one was the supplier, one was the third person, who is the buyer, who is giving the instructions to supply to the third party, who is the recipient. So here we have three words: recipient, 1, 2 is the supplier, and 3 is the third person, who is the buyer. Whether acting as an agent or otherwise, it doesn't make any difference. Before or during the movement of goods, this person, they are referring to this person, whether acting as a agent or otherwise, before or during the movement of goods, either way of all that stuff, we will ignore it. It shall be deemed that the third person has received the goods. So the third person who is giving the instructions is assumed that he is purchasing the goods, and that's the reason it is the third person. Wherever the location of the third person is there, that is the place of supply. So the answer to such conditions are: the supply of such goods shall be the principal place of business of third person. So I have marked it very bold. This is the answer. Okay, hope you have understood it. So I will take a small example. Another example we will take. So Samantha Traders, who is the real buyer, is giving instructions to Rahim Traders to sub and Rahim Traders on Rahim Traders. I don't know where this guy is. Rahim Traders is in Assam. Okay, he's in Assam. He's in Assam, and this Assam guy on the instructions of Samant Traders, who is in West Bengal. This guy is in West Bengal. Is supplying goods. This guy is supplying goods to a person called as City College of Kolkata at Bengal. So three people are there. One is the buyer, who is the third person, and who is the supplier, Rahim Traders, and the recipient is City of Kolkata. City of Kolkata. So three people are there. One is the buyer, third person. Second one is the supplier, and the third person is the recipient of the goods. Now, in this case, I told you, whenever there is a supply of goods which are taking place on the directions of the third person, the place of supply is, answer is third person. Where is the third person? Location of the third person. The location of the third person in this case is, this is the third person, and the third person is in West Bengal. Is in West Bengal. And who is supplying? The supplier is Rahim Traders of Assam. Is Assam. So it is a case of Assam supplying it to West Bengal, and West Bengal supplying subsequently to Kolkata. So the first leg is interstate and the second leg is intrastate. The first leg is between Assam and Bengal supplying it to City College. So the first leg is a case of interstate supply of goods on which IGST is levied, and the second leg of the transaction is between West Bengal and City College of Kolkata, and this is between the same places in the same state, and this will be a intrastate, and on which 50% will go to CGST and 50% will go to SGST. So hope you have understood this point also. So I will move into the another example. Let's take another example. Note. So the problem is in front of you, but I am giving the summary of the answer, question. Summary of the question. The summary of the question is R of Haryana is the buyer who is buying, and is giving instructions to Bombay person to manufacture certain toys and supply to G of Jaipur, who is the receiver of goods. So there are three people. One is the supplier, who is the Bombay person, who is the manufacturer of toys, and the buyer is in Haryana, who is the third person, and the third party is G of Jaipur of Rajasthan, who is the recipient of goods. So recipient of goods. So first we have to find out the place of supply. The place of supply in such case is the person who is giving the instruction, which is the third person, who is also the buyer. So place of supply is, where is the third person available? Location of the third person, who is R of Haryana. So R of Haryana, that is Haryana is the place of supply. Haryana is the place of supply. Number one. Now who is supplying it? Bombay. So Bombay is the person who is supplying it. So Bombay to Haryana, two different states. So it is a case of interstate sale of goods, and we are going to levy IGST. So hope your questions are answered. So the answer is in front of you. The answer is there. You can use it. You can refer to this. So this we already discussed. So hope this is clear. So two different situations we have seen. Two different situations of a place of supply we have seen. The first is movement of goods is taking place, and in this case the answer as far as place of supply is where the goods supply of goods terminate, movement of goods terminate, that is the place of supply. In case of a third person giving instructions, then it is the place of the third person, who is the buyer. Now let's go into the third situation where no movement of goods is taking place. There is no movement of goods taking place. This is the first one is movement of goods is taking place. Supply involves movement of goods. Third case is supply doesn't involve movement of goods. So let's take a situation and understand the answer, and let's go into an example. Now let's take the example. So where supply doesn't involve movement of goods. Supply doesn't involve movement of goods. Doesn't involve movement of goods. For example, it happens normally with everybody. Everybody, whether it is Mr. Akash Haridas or Nitin Gate or Ramesh Mehta, it happens. For example, Akash Haridas is there. He's from Nagar. He's from Nagar, and he comes to Bombay. He comes to Bombay and purchases a mobile of 1 lakh rupees. Now tell me, is there a movement of goods from Bombay to Nagar? No, because after he purchases this mobile, he will keep it in his pocket or bag and he will get it back to Nagar. So there is absolutely no movement of goods either by this guy or this guy, and there is no transportation cost. So that is the meaning of no movement of goods. No movement of goods. For example, another example I will give you. Another example I will give you, and that will make you that will clear the concept. For example, Mr. Nitin is there. Nitin from Pune goes to all the way to Hyderabad, and he purchases 10 shirts, 10 shirts, and 10 shirts each at 1,000 rupees and 10,000 rupees. Now, this guy who is preparing the bill at Hyderabad doesn't know what to do, whether he is confused whether it is a case of intrastate or interstate. Please remember, this particular transaction of supply of goods doesn't involve movement of goods. What Nitin can do, Nitin will take the goods with him and keep it in his luggage and get back to his place in Pune. Whereas if it is like 1,500 units of pants, then at that case transportation is required, because such a bulky kind of goods cannot be transported. Have to be transported because it can't be taken all alone. It involves transportation. So in this case, where small quantities are purchased, it doesn't involve movement of goods. That is the meaning of it. I hope you have understood this particular point. This is also called as across the counter sales. 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 And whenever there is across the counter sales, 99% cases it is a case of intrastate. It is a case of intrastate. So let's take a small example, and we are going to levy for intrastate transactions 50% CGST and 50% SGST. Let's take a small example. So the example is like this. The example goes like this. For example, okay, Mr. Ramesh Mehta comes from Hyderabad to Pune, and in Vijay sales, he purchases two laptops or one laptop of 1 lakh rupees. Now there is no obligation on either of them, like the showroom owner or Mr. Ramesh Mehta, to take care of the transportation, because it is a small one which can be packed in a luggage bag. So this guy will just hand over to Mr. R of Hyderabad at Pune across the counter. So this guy will take and keep it in bag and he will go to Hyderabad. So there is no movement of goods by transportation, which is initiated either by Pune person or Hyderabad person. So this is no involvement of goods. So in this case, very important, the place of supply is, look at the answer. The place of supply is, this is the answer. This is the place of supply will be the location of such goods at the time of the delivery of the recipient. The location of such goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. So the location of such goods were at Pune at the time of delivery to Ramesh Mehta. So place of supply is Pune. And Pune. Who is selling it? This guy is selling it. Who is at Pune, which is Vijaya Sales. So both the seller is in Pune and the place of supply also is in Pune. So both are in the same state, which is Maharashtra. So it is a intrastate supply of goods, and 50% will go to CGST and 50% will go to SGST. So hope you have understood. So whenever there is a across the counter sales, it is a case of intrastate sale of goods and services. Intrastate sale of goods, and popularly we levy CGST and SGST. Next one, the fourth situation. Now we have completed the third situation. The third situation also is over. No movement of goods. For no movement of goods, location. So this is the answer. Whenever there is no movement of goods, this is the answer. Location of the goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. Now we are going to look at the fourth case, which is goods are assembled. Goods are assembled, and goods are assembled at a site, and the place of supply will be place of installation or assembly. So we will take a small example, and that will make that will clear the concept. That will clear the concept. Let's take the example. Let's take the example. So the example is very important. This can the example is there in front of you. You can take a note of it, and we are going to discuss. Now determine the place of supply in the following cases, and all that stuff is given. Supplier and its location. Who is supplying the goods? His location is given. Recipient who is receiving the goods also is given, and the place where the goods are assembled or supplied or installed is also given. So we are going to take a small example. With this we will understand it. Okay. The first case. Before I go into this particular problem, let's take a small problem of this situation, situation. Now, Ramco Limited in Bihar. Ramco is there. There is a company by name Ramco in Bihar. Has opened a new office in Delhi. Ramco Delhi. Ramco Delhi. So Ramco Bihar is there, and they have opened a new office at Ramco Delhi. So Bihar is the headquarters. Branch offices at Delhi. It purchases Ramco Bihar and so on and so forth. It purchases 10 ACs to be installed at Delhi. So this is a big office, and they wanted to go for a AC, and they want to get 10 ACs installed in Delhi office. So what they do, these people, the Bihar branch gives an order to Patil Electronics of Bihar. Patil Electronics is there in Bihar. Patil Electronics is there in Bihar. So इनको order देते. They give an order to this guy to supply these goods to Bihar, this goods from Bihar to Delhi office, and they have to go and install these 10 particular machines, which are called as ACs in this case, which are to be installed or assembled. Look at this word, installed or assembled. Machines are to be installed. These are all machines, big machines to be installed. So this is a situation. Now it is confused, like Bihar is supplying to Bihar or Bihar is supplying to Delhi. Because if you are thinking that Bihar guy, this guy is supplying it to Bihar guy of Ramco Bihar, then it is a intrastate. Whereas if you are confused and you are looking at the second option, that Bihar guy is supplying it to Ramco of Delhi, then it is a case of interstate sale. So you are getting confused. So in this case, what you need to find out is where the goods are installed. That is the answer as far as place of supply is concerned. As far as place of supply is concerned, I am highlighting it. The place of supply shall be the place where such installation or assembly is taking place. The place where such installation or assembly is taking place. Nitin, are you able to see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So in this case, just a moment, okay, just a moment, please hold on. So we are going to continue our discussion as far as the fourth situation is concerned. The fourth situation is where the goods are installed or what we can call it, where the goods are installed or assembled, where the goods are installed or assembled. So in this case, the goods, as far as this particular example is concerned, they are installed at Delhi office. And who is supplying it? Who is supplying it? The guy from Bihar is supplying it. If you remember, the guy from Bihar is supplying. The guy from Bihar is supplying. Who is that guy? The supplier. Now let's go to that particular slide, and we'll still find a solution to it. So in this case, this is the answer in front of you. So the answer is the place where the goods are installed or assembled. So the goods are assembled at Delhi office Ramco. So that is the place of supply. Wherever the goods are installed, that is called as the place of supply. And who is supplying it? The person called as Patil Electronics in Bihar. So Bihar is supplying it to Delhi, because the place of supply is Delhi. So certainly it is a case of a union territory which is coming into picture and a state coming into picture. So this is a interstate sale of goods, and hence we are going to levy IGST. Hope this is also clear. So let's take, with this discussion, let's take some more examples. Let's take some more examples. Now in this case, we have three people in picture. One is the supplier, like the one who has supplied the ACs in the previous example. Recipient, the person like Ramco of Delhi in the previous example. Okay, the main office of Ramco, that is Bihar, and where it is supplied, that is the Delhi office. Okay, so I told you, in such cases, what you have to find out is where the goods are installed or assembled. For example, I will give you one more example before I go into this one. See, there is a L&T company. L&T company. L&T company is a headquarters at Hyderabad, for example, and they get a big order from a company called as Reliance Industries, whose office is at Bombay. And this guy who is in Bombay, RIL, Reliance Industries, is giving a big order to install a 10,000 crores of machine for their another company, Reliance Industries at Chennai. So this guy who is L&T Hyderabad will manufacture a big machine, and they will install at Chennai. Okay, so the guy who has given the order is Reliance Bombay, but it doesn't make any difference. But what is going to make difference is where it is in particular machine is installed. This machine is installed at RIL, Reliance Industries, Chennai. So the place of supply is where the goods are installed or commissioned or assembled. So it is Chennai. Now who is supplying it? The guy who is in Hyderabad. So two different states. So this is a case of interstate supply of goods, and the situation is the goods are installed, are commissioned, or assembled at a particular place, and that place is called as the place of supply. Now let's take a small example. Who is the supplier who is supplying these goods? In all the cases, A Limited of Jaipur. To whom it is sold? It is sold to B Limited of Jaipur in the first case. In the second case, it is sold to M Limited of Bombay. In the fourth case, it is sold to S Limited of Surat. In the fourth case, it is sold to M Limited of Bombay. So this guy is giving an order to this guy. Okay, but where these goods are installed on by virtue of the situation, it is installed at Kolkata. In the first case, it is installed at Surat, and the third case, it is in Allahabad, UP, and Jaipur, Rajasthan. So four different cases. So let's look at the answer. The answer is, I told you where the goods are installed or supplied and assembled, that is the place of supply. So the place of supply is the place where the goods are assembled: Kolkata, Surat, Allahabad, and Jaipur. So you got Kolkata, Surat, Allahabad, and Jaipur as the answers. Now, who is the supplier? In all the cases, Jaipur are the suppliers. Jaipur is supplying to Kolkata, so it is an interstate. Jaipur is supplied to Surat, and Jaipur, Rajasthan, Surat, Gujarat, interstate. Third case, Jaipur is supplying it to UP, that is Rajasthan to UP, two different states, interstate, and Jaipur, Rajasthan to Jaipur. So they are within the same state. So intrastate, sorry. So intrastate mein CGST and SGSTs are levied. Now last particular situation. So we will go back to our old PPT, old slide, sorry. The old slide is the fourth situation. The fourth situation is supplied on board. Supplied on board. Now we will understand what you mean by supply on board. Supply on board means supplied on board means supplied on a ship, on train, on a bus, on a helicopter or aircraft, on air, it is supplied. Okay. So in this case, the answer, if the goods are supplied on board, is very important. It happens with you, with me also. And I gave you an example at the very beginning. Place where the goods are taken on board. This is the answer. Where the goods are taken on board. So we'll go into the slide where there are examples and solve the examples. Okay, now look at this example. Let's look at the example. The example is in the case the goods are supplied on board. Now I am talking about on board. On board means in ship you are purchasing, you are going for a picnic or a tour from, for example, Chennai to Goa by train or by bus or by air or by cruise, that is by waterways. And in the journey you are purchasing some goods. In the journey you are purchasing some goods. Like for example, while you are in waterways, while you are going through taking transportation, you are undertaking transportation from Chennai to Goa by waterways, that is by ship or cruise. Then in the cruise you may purchase some goods. So there can be big showrooms or shops where you are purchasing some goods. So they are goods are purchased on board. That is the meaning of it. Okay, when the goods are supplied on a board or conveyance. For example, another example I will give. For example, you are going from Pune to Bangalore by air, and during the journey they supplied you some food items for your edible items, and you are consuming it. So there is a transaction of supply of goods. Now it is a state of confusion, like whether it is a interstate or intrastate, because you don't know at what place you have purchased or what place it is supplied. It is in between Pune and Bangalore. So what is the transaction, whether it is a interstate or a intrastate? So there is an element of confusion prevailing. To overcome that, please remember the answer is the place of supply shall be the location at which these goods are taken on board. If the goods are taken on board at Pune, then the place of supply is Pune. For example, these food items which are supplied to is 500 rupees. The airline people have purchased it at Pune. They have been boarded on the air at Pune itself. So the place of supply is Pune. So let's take the example for discussion. Mr. Mehta is traveling on a cruise liner, means waterway, ship के ऊपर बॉम्बे से गोवा जा रहा है. Okay, कौन जा रहा है? Mr. Mehta from Bombay to Goa by waterways along with his family. Now this is the Bombay, this is Goa, and is going from Bombay to Goa and is boarding ship at Bombay. Okay, so this is Bombay and this is Goa and boarding at Bombay. He purchases a book from the in-house store in cruise liners. इसमें एक स्टॉल है, उस स्टॉल में जाके उन्होंने एक बुक खरीदा. Now Goa is a union territory. Bombay is in Maharashtra. So it's now in between Bombay and Goa is purchasing it. So what type of transaction it is, whether it is a interstate or intrastate? Now the answer to this question is where these books have been, where the goods are taken on board, whether they are taken on board at Bangalore or Bihar at Bombay, so on and so forth. So in this case, these books were boarded from Bombay. Okay, so the place of supply is what was the place from where it was boarded. The books were boarded at Bombay. So ship के ऊपर बॉम्बे में शिप के ऊपर गुड्स को बोर्ड किया था. तो the place of supply is Bombay. Now next part, registered place of the businessman is at Bombay. So the businessman is at Mumbai and it is boarded at Bombay. So within the same state it is taking place and it is a case of intrastate. However, if the registered office of the owner of this particular shop is at Karnataka in Bangalore में है और शिप के ऊपर बॉम्बे में चढ़ाया. So place of supply is where the goods are boarded on the conveyance, whether on train or waterways or bus or air or so on and so forth. So this is the place of supply, but it is this particular owner is registered at Bangalore, which is in Karnataka. So the goods are supplied by this guy to Bombay. So Karnataka and Maharashtra are two different states, and it will be a case of interstate supply of goods and services, and we are going to levy 100% IGST. So this is the way you have to understand the situation. So all these five particular situations of supply of goods are hopefully understood by you. Now let's talk about the very important topic, which is place of supply of services. So services also are supplied. For example, I will give you one example. For example, you are taking ATM services, you are availing ATM services or insurance services or banking services. So this kind of services also this kind of services also are also taken. Hello, एक आधा घंटे में फोन कर रहे दिलीप. So in this case, services also are availed. So here we have to find out from where the services are provided and to whom it is services are provided, and where is the place at which it has been provided. For example, I will give a small example, you can understand it. So for example, your mobile service is there, so these people will charge GST. So for example, you are having a prepaid card of Airtel at Bangalore, and you went to Bombay and recharged it. Now whether it is a interstate or intrastate, you get confused. So to eliminate this, we have to go into in-depth of the topic called as place of supply of services. For another example I will give you. For example, you go from Bombay to Karnataka, Bombay to Bangalore, and in Bangalore you take some food items, catering services, and that is restaurant services. Now this guy is confused. Now this guy is from Bombay and eating some food items at Bangalore restaurant. Now what should I do? Should I charge IGST, assuming that this is a case of interstate supply of services, or should I charge GST, that is CGST and SGST 50%, because within the same state it is consumed. So to eliminate this kind of dubious and doubtful situations, we have to understand the concept and knowledge pertaining to place of service, supply of service is very, very important. Now I have given some headings. Generally, the place of supply of services is the location of the service recipient. Now please remember, there are two people in case of services. One is the service provider, very important words, and you have to just take a very serious note of this. One is the service provider and one is the service recipient. So who is the service provider? Who is giving the service? And who is the recipient who is receiving the services? For example, Airtel is the service provider and you are the consumer of telecommunication of Airtel services, so you are the recipient. For example, there is a company by name Naukri.com. So this is company which is into placement HR service, HR placement services, so which is called as a service provider, and the guy who is approaching for services of Naukri.com is the service recipient, like the guy who is developing a is asking to develop a CV or asking him to place, who is called as a recipient of the service. For example, this is the way we have to have two people in picture. There are two people in picture in case of services. One is the service recipient, and one is a service recipient and service provider. Service provider and service recipient. Okay. For example, in this case, the general rule as far as the place of supply of services is the first rule. The first rule is generally the place of service, supply of service, sorry, is the location of the service recipient. जहां recipient है उसका location find out करो. That is the place of service. That is the place of supply of service. That is the place of supply of service. So I will give a small example, and that will make your life very easy. I will give you three examples. Banking one I will give you, banking services, telecommunication services, and insurance services. Okay, let's start the discussion. Banking services. Now, Mr. Nitin Gate is having an account in Axis Bank. And he has opened a SB account, and he has taken a ATM service also, and he receives for receiving the messages, for example, banking messages from the bank. He is he has told to bank to charge something for the messages. That naturally happens when you receive for availing the messages service. Okay, you have to pay. This is the service provided, so you have to pay service charges. And we are going to talk about the service charges in the form of GST. So for ATM services provided by Axis Bank, for example, they are going to charge 1,000 rupees, for example. So on this 1,000 rupees of service charges, they are going to charge GST of 18%. Now, what GST they are going to charge? Whether it is a CGST, SGST, or IGST. Okay, to overcome this, what you have to find out, where is Mr. Nitin Gate located? Mr. Nitin Gate's location, who is the location, which is the location of the service recipient, is very important. So this guy is located in Pune, and Axis Bank, which branch is providing this service? Pune branch is providing this service. So for this case, where we are inquisitive to find out, interested to find out the place of service is, where is the location of the service recipient? The service recipient location is in Pune. So the place of service, the place of supply of service is Pune. From where it is supplied? From the Axis Bank Pune. So this is a case of Pune supplying it to Pune. So it is a interstate supply of services. So on this we will levy what? Sorry, it is a case of intrastate supply of the two states, the two places are in the same state. It is a case of intrastate supply of services, So the charges which are charged is 100 rupees. On this 100 rupees service charge, they are going to levy 18%, for example. So 9%, which is 9 rupees, and 9%, which is 9 rupees, goes to CGST, and another 9% will go to SGST. Hope you have understood this point. Another example. Let me give one more example. The other example is telecommunication. For example, Akash Haridas. Akash Haridas is having a Airtel connection, prepaid or postpaid. Let's take a postpaid. And he has furnished all the documents of his residence, proof of residence, identity, and all that stuff. So the location of the service recipient is, for example, Pune, and he has gone to Pune office, and from where he got a connection. So where is the location of the service recipient? The recipient service is at location of the service recipient is at Pune, and who is supplying this service? The supply of services are from Pune. So it is a case of intrastate supply of services. So you might have seen that there is a 1,000 rupees of 1,000 rupees of bill, and on which we are going to be charged 28%. In this case, as these two places, the service recipient as well as the service provider are at the same in the same state, we are going to charge this transaction is is a transaction of intrastate. So 14% will go to CGST and 14% will go to SGST. That is 140 rupees on this 14% and 140 rupees on this for CGST and SGST. Total amount will be 1,280. So hope this is also loud and clear. Let's go into some more important items of a place of supply of services. So the first fundamental answer to your question is the place of supply of services is generally the location of the recipient, service recipient, where the service recipient is, that is the place of supply. But in some special provisions or services, some special cases, in some special cases, for example, services related to immovable property, services related to restaurant. These are, see, restaurant is an immovable property. Okay, so for example, immovable property, I will give you a small example. Immovable property. For example, Mr. X is there. He's in Bombay. He's in Bombay and he's an architect. He's an architect and he's registered in Bombay under GST Act. So the principal place of the supplier is, sorry, the principal place of a service provider is Bombay. Okay. Now, what service is providing? For example, there is a big house in Bangalore of Mr. Y, and this Y has approached Mr. X of Bombay, who is an architecture, to provide services of architecture for this particular building, and this building is a immovable property. So there are some services which are related to immovable property. So in these cases, where the immovable property is there on which and service is received, then the place of service supply of services where the immovable property is located. So we will be talking about so many examples in the forthcoming slides. We will be discussing. In case, if you look at this answer, in case of services related to immovable property, the location of the property is the place of place where the service has been provided. So this particular property is there in Bangalore. So the location of the property is at Bangalore. So the place of supply of services is at Bangalore. So there are thousands of services and there are 1,000 rules you have to remember. So I've taken efforts to give answers to maximum of the services. So let's take our discussion further and understand. So let's take a small example here. Very important. Mr. Anil from Delhi. So, Mr. Anil. Anil is there in Delhi, and he's an interior designer, interior decorator. We call it an interior designer. घर के अंदर जो भी रहता है उसको डिजाइन करता है. So, Mr. Anil from Delhi provides interior designing services. So, this guy is the service provider. To whom is providing? To Mr. Ajay of Bombay. Mr. Ajay is there in Bombay. And this guy who is in Bombay has a property in Ooty. Ooty में उसका property है. अजय का जो property है, it's there in not in Bombay but in Tamil Nadu, Ooty. Now, in this case, find out the place of supply. So, in this case, as I already told, this is a immovable property. This particular property, which is house or a bungalow, is a immovable property. So, the place of supply of service is where the location of the immovable property is there. So, the immovable property is not in Bombay, but in this case, it is in Ooty, which is in Tamil Nadu. So, the place of supply is at at Ooty of Tamil Nadu. Ooty of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu. Now, who is giving the service? Mr. A of Delhi. So Delhi is Delhi is a union territory, and Tamil Nadu is a state. So union territory and state has come into picture. This is a service provider, and this is a service receiver. So it is a case of interstate supply of services. So this is the way you have to remember. In case of a immovable property, the location of the immovable property to which the service has been provided is the place of service. So some more examples, and it's very important. Let's take the discussion further and find out. And there can be element of doubt also, or query also, but let's discuss thoroughly. So what is the type of service? The type of service is construction of a immovable property, number one. In the second case, expert services for property. So we are giving some expert services to a property. The third case is hotel accommodation. The fourth case is business conference held in a hotel. So this is also a type of service. Next one is ancillary services. So this is a immovable property. This is a immovable property. This is a immovable property, and this is also a immovable property. So let's understand the example. The first example is construction of a immovable property. Messrs. ABC Constructors of Gujarat has been hired by Shanti Properties of Karnataka to build a commercial building at Bombay. So Gujarat guy has hired a Karnataka guy to build a commercial building at Bombay. Bombay में construction करना है. So immovable property is at Bombay. So the place of supply is Bombay. So here look at the answer. The answer is Bombay is the place of supply, because the immovable property which is going to be constructed is at Bombay, and the service provider who is providing the service, supply of services is, if you look here, supply of service, Mr. ABC is the ABC constructors of Gujarat are the guys who are going to provide the service. So this is in Gujarat and this is in Maharashtra. Now let's look at the answer. We have found out the place of supply. Now look at the answer. Here it is telling that this is a case of intrastate. Why? Because ABC will have to register as a supplier in Maharashtra. Now this guy is bounded. This guy is bounded to get registered in Bombay, that is in Maharashtra, and subsequently Maharashtra guy is supplying services to immovable property which is located in Maharashtra, and then it is a case of intrastate supply of services, and hence CGST and SGST will be levied. Hope you have understood this part. Next part is expert services for property. So this is again immovable property has come into picture. ABC brings in engineers from an engineering firm registered in West Bengal. So ABC engineers brings in engineers. ABC brings in engineers from an engineering company which is registered in West Bengal to survey Bombay site. So supply, what type of service it is? Engineering expertise. So this is place of supply is where the building is located. So this is a property. So building is located. The building is located in Bombay. So the place of supply is Bombay. Now here also engineering firm will have to register as a supplier in Maharashtra, even though they are from West Bengal. Under the rule, they have to compulsorily get registration under GST Act in Maharashtra, and subsequently Maharashtra guy is providing services to immovable property in Maharashtra. So the place of supply is at Maharashtra. So Maharashtra to Maharashtra, it is a interstate supply of services. Intrastate supply of services, and CGST and SGST will be levied for the appropriate amount that is going to be transacted. Next one, hotel accommodation. Hotel accommodation. So, for example, Infosys, there are 10 employees of Infosys. There are 10 employees of Infosys. They go to Bombay for some work, and they'll get accommodation in a hotel in Bombay. So they will have to pay accommodation charges, and this Bombay hotel is providing services. That is what type of services? Hotel accommodation services. So this is also a case of immovable property. So the place of services, place of supply of services is at Bombay, which is Raj Hotels in Bombay. Now let's take the discussion as far as the third example is concerned. So very interesting situations are there. There are so many situations like this, and I will tell you very openly. And all these instances or examples or transactions cannot be discussed at length because there are innumerable services, almost like 300 services. Is it possible to discuss 300 services? No, but you have to understand the summary of the place of supply of services as far as the concept is concerned. Now, hotel accommodation. Mr. Bakchi, an architect registered in Kolkata, lodges in Raj Hotels in Bombay. Okay, he has gone to Bombay. He's taking an accommodation in Bombay. Okay, lodges in Raj Hotels in Bombay. Okay. Now, what type of service it is? This is the Raj Hotels is the immovable property which is giving service to this guy. So, type of service is supply of services of hotel accommodation by Raj Hotels. Now, in this case, this is also a case of Maharashtra is the place where the building is located, and here look at this. It is also a case of CGST and SGST. Even though is from Kolkata, but the place is very important where the property is located. The immovable property is located. So it is in Maharashtra. So Maharashtra guy is giving accommodation to Maharashtra guy. That is what is assumed. So it is a case of intrastate and CGST and SGST is levied. So you can look at the subsequent examples also. So I will skip this one and go into the next slides. So some more immovable properties examples are given. Some more immovable properties examples are given. So some immovable properties to whom, to which services are provided are. For example, a house is there, a bungalow is there. Architecture services are given, provided to this bungalow, or interior decorators or surveyors. Engineering services are provided to this immovable property, or other experts or estate agents are providing this kind of services to immovable property, and many other things. So services, lodging and accommodation in a hotel, that is the immovable property. So in this case, I told you the location where the immovable property is, that is the place of supply. So if it is in the immovable property is in Bombay, then the place of supply is also in Bombay. Okay, so hope you have understood this one. Now let's take some more example. Now again we are going to talk about a different concept now. Now, general rule for place of supply except those covered separately. Okay. Now to a registered person, location of the registered recipient, location of the registered recipient. To an unregistered person. So I will give you some examples. Don't worry. There are 3 examples here. If you see, so with this you will understand this concept. But this is very important. Whichever I am highlighting, supply of service. The supply of service is to a registered person. And registered person means a person who is registered under GST Act, whether under IGST or SGST or CGST, he has registered. And in this case, if the service is provided to a registered person under GST Act, then the place of supply is location of registered recipient. If you look here, already I gave here, look, the location of the service recipient. So here also the same answer, the location of the registered recipient, the location of the registered recipient. Now, in case the services are provided to an unregistered person, which is not registered under GST Act. Now, again, there are two bifurcations. Location of the recipient, if the address is available on the record. So we'll take up a small example. At the time you will understand. Location of the supplier of services in other cases. So in this case where we don't have the address of the recipient of the service, then automatically what is the location of the supplier who is supplying these services. So let me make this concept clear with the help of a small example. The example goes like this. So registered person. So we are supplying services to a registered person. For example, what do you mean by supplier supplying services to a registered person? For example, there is a company by name Mofai. Okay, I will take another example. Naukri.com. Naukri.com. And there is something called as a company by name Infosys. Now, I think you will understand what type of transaction I am talking about. Now, Infosys is telling to Naukri.com to recruit and appoint 1,000 software engineers. Because Naukri.com is into the services is in the provision of services of placements. They are telling, Infosys is telling to Naukri.com to supply to recruit and select and appoint 1,000 software engineers for Infosys, and they give some suitable so-called specifications like how much of your experience, what qualification, and all that stuff. Now, Naukri.com is the service provider and Infosys is a service recipient. Now, the first example is whether this particular person who is receiving the service, this is Infosys, whether it is registered or not. And to my knowledge, Infosys is a registered person. It's a registered person because they are into a big business of software. They have to register under GST, and this is a registered person. So Naukri.com is a registered person and Infosys also is a registered person. So Naukri.com is giving placement services to a registered person called as Infosys. That is the example. So in this case, the place of supply is, in this case where Naukri.com is supplying services to Infosys, then who is a registered person, then the place of supply is location of the registered recipient, where the company Infosys is registered, location of the registered recipient. So let's take a small example with the example what I have just now given. Ajay of Karnataka provides consultancy services to Sumati Technologies in Bombay. So Ajay is there. He is in Bombay, and is giving services to whom? He is providing services to a company, and that company is registered. And I told you, when it is registered, the place of supply is location of the registered recipient. The location of the registered recipient is Maharashtra, and Ajay is in Karnataka. So Ajay is in Karnataka and is supplying services or providing services to a company which is registered in Maharashtra. So location of the supply. So it is a case of, look here, it is a case of IGST because it is a interstate. From Karnataka, the services are provided to a recipient of services in Maharashtra. So it is a case of interstate supply of services. Number one. So this part is over. The first part of the point which is there is discussed. This point is discussed. Let's look at the second two more points. Two more points are, if the supplier is supplying services or providing services to an unregistered person. The first case was registered. The second case is unregistered. So there are two types of unregistered. One is the location of the recipient if the address is available on the record. The other one is the address is not available. Then in such a case, location of the supplier of the services. So I will give a small example. With that, you will understand it. So example 2 is pertinent to this one. This one. Mr. A, or that is Mr. Ajay of Karnataka. Mr. Ajay of Karnataka is providing services, consultancy services of Mr. Vijay. And Vijay is a small person. He's a very small person. His business is not registered. Or he can be an individual who is not interested in, he's not doing business, but he has supplied, this guy supplied services, consultancy services to an unregistered person. Unregistered person. But Mr. Ajay is having address on records of this guy. This guy is providing the services to Vijay, who is unregistered, but this guy, Ajay of Karnataka, is having proper address records on the record books of Ajay. So in this case, I told you, whenever there is an unregistered person and the address is available on the records of the supplier, then location of the recipient. Location of the recipient of the services. Who is the recipient of the services? Who is not registered, but his address is available on the records of Mr. Ajay. This recipient is at Tamil Nadu and the person is at Karnataka. So location of the recipient. The location of the recipient is in Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka guy is supplying the services to Tamil Nadu. And this is a case of IGST because it is a from Karnataka, the supply, the services have been provided to a person in Tamil Nadu. So this is the way. I will give one more example to make you understand. For example, if you, Mr. Nitin is there. Okay, again I am taking an example of Nitin. Nitin is there. Nitin has got a savings account in Axis Bank, Pune, Chinchwad, Pune, in Pune. Now, is Mr. Nitin a registered person under GST Act? No, because he's an individual. He's an employee. He's not a business person. Either involved in any supply of services. He's neither involved in supply of services or goods. He's just an individual. So Axis Bank is providing services to a unregistered person. Now tell me whether Nitin Gatte's address is there in Axis Bank. Yes, it is there because at that time when he has taken a savings account, he has given all the documents like PAN card, Aadhaar card, and proof of identity and proof of address proof of his house. So the address proof which is furnished will note the address of Mr. Nitin. So yes, even though he is not registered under GST Act, but his address is available with Axis Bank. And if Axis Bank is providing services to Nitin Gatte, who is an unregistered person, but his place of address is given and recorded in Axis Bank, and it is in Pune. So Axis Bank is Pune is providing services to Nitin Gatte of Pune. So this is the meaning of this particular sentence, which is to an unregistered person, location of the recipient of the if the address is available on the record. Now third case. So 1 is over, 2 is over. Now 2 we are going to talk about 2. Now in this third case, services are provided by a person to an unregistered person, and location of the supplier or services in other cases. So let's take a small example. What do you mean by this particular part? Now Mr. Nitin again has an account in Axis Bank. For example, okay, this can be a hypothetical example in Pune. But has he registered? No, he's not registered in GST under GST Act. He goes to Goa. he goes to Goa for 10 days of official work. And now there is a call from his family that they require money immediately. And they tell that to send a DD of 10,000 rupees. And now he doesn't know what to do. So he is in his Axis Bank. He has got a banking savings account at Pune, Axis Bank. In Goa, he doesn't have any bank facility, but he has got cash. But doesn't have any. He doesn't have any bank account in Goa. Neither he has registered on GST Act. So he went to one of the branches of State Bank of India in Goa and requested that, sir, I have an emergency. Why don't you give me a DD of 1 lakh rupees, for example? So this guy, State Bank of India, Goa, is providing a DD facility, which is a banking service, and it is provided to whom? Unregistered person, number one. And subsequently to whom it is provided? It is provided to Nitin. And Nitin का address उनके State Bank of India के books में है क्या? नहीं है. It's not available. So in such a case where the service is provided by a person to an unregistered person and the address is not available of the recipient of the service, then in such a case the place of supply is the location of the supplier of the of such services. Who is supplying such services? State Bank of India, Goa. So the place of service where Nitin is not registered and doesn't have any address record in the State Bank of India, then the place of services is place of supply of services is State Bank of India, Goa. Hope you have understood this point. Now let's take the example third one. How critical is the situation? How critical is the topic? How important is the topic? You can understand from the examples what we are discussing. So don't take it lightly. GST is a very big topic, and it involves huge amount of hard work and sincerity to acquire or assimilate knowledge. Now let's take an example. Mr. Ajay of Karnataka, again Ajay of Karnataka has come into picture and is providing services to Anand. And Anand is not registered, neither his address is available. So neither his address is available, neither is registered under GST Act. So address is not there, neither there is registration proof that he has registered. So he has not registered. So this is eliminated. So automatically, what is the place of supply of services? The place of supply of services is from where the services are provided, or the location of the service provider. So this is Ajay of Karnataka. So it is a case of Karnataka providing to Karnataka only. So it is a case of intrastate supply of services, and CGST and SGST is CGST and SGST is levied. So hope you have understood it. So I will stop here, and tomorrow again at a convenient time we will take up some more discussions on the remaining part of our place of supply of services, as well as one more topic which is very expected, which is value of supply of services and goods. Hope you